Good morning, Rotarians. We are the early wakers this morning, I guess. We're a small group, but glad you're all here. Thanks to our folks on the Zoom side of things. We appreciate you being here too. Up first, let's get some introductions going. Do we have any visiting Rotarians this morning? See any? Anybody online that's visiting Rotarian? Okay. Rotaract or Interact members?
We have a guest.
We have a couple guests. Peggy, that's great. Thank you for being here. Jessica's your sponsor. Thank you. And my guest Dallas Fuentes over here. Thanks for being here and thanks for coming out last weekend. That was great. Any other guests on the Zoom side? See anybody, Maggie? Our speakers here.
Yeah.
Layla Roberts. Hi, Layla. We'll do a formal introduction later with Carol, and I appreciate you presenting today. Okay, we have a lot coming up in throughout this month and really all through May. Tomorrow, AJ, we've got a hands-on again, and I've got something from last weekend, but if you want to say what we're doing and what the needs are and why we're signing up, that'd be awesome. Take a sec, come on up. Good morning.
Could we maybe have the speakers unmasked? It'd be a lot better, especially soft talkers like you.
So the Cal Poly students are progressing through their projects, and so last weekend we had a good turnout with breaking ground, and we dug out like a 10 by 10 square, and so tomorrow we're going to look at leveling it, building some forms and putting some gravel in that hole. So I kind of we had one shift set up, so thank you, Ian, for sending out that assignment genius. It should be in your email. We have a shift from 1 to 3. I'm going to meet Craig in the morning to pick up some gravel. So if you have an opportunity in the morning, that can be helpful too. You can coordinate with me, but definitely some shovels. He's got the dump trailer going, but I think we've got if you got a shovel, that's essentially in some gloves. That'd be super handy to come and help us out. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Yeah. Thank you, AJ. Yeah. And when Maggie says soft speaker, that's actually a compliment. That means, you know, we're comfortable and you're a kind person to speak to us. So thank you. And then, of course, you mentioned last week that we have a community garden box coming up with Cooperation Humboldt. So we'll do a sign up for that, AJ, for after we get through this weekend. We'll do a sign up for next week. Okay. So something going on pretty much every weekend now. And then May 7th, we've got our charter or 30th birthday party. Anybody from the fellowship committee want to say something about that? Looks like Terri does.
She's not going to tell me to put on a mask because I'm a soft talker. So did anyone not get one of these in the mail? Peggy, we'll send you one if you'll give me your address. So our charter night, which is our birthday, our 30th birthday party, is May 7th. It's at Redwood Lodge, which is in Redwood Park. It's going to be from 2 to 5. So it's going to be indoor, outdoor. We'll have food inside and you can go outside, and Ian's going to make some comments, and we'd really like to have everybody there. And if you can't be there, it's fine to let us know that too, because we're trying to narrow down a count for the caterer, who's going to be Elizabeth. Well, and her assistants over there. So anyway, it's really, really, really important that you let us know one way or the other as soon as you can, because we want to have all of you there, but if you can't be there, we want to know that too. So this is really important. Think planning a wedding or something else that's being catered. You want enough food, not too much food, just the right amount. So please, 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 please let us know. Let Maggie or I know. And I think only Maggie or me know. I think there's only less than 20 or 25 people who have let us know one way or the other. So please, please, please.
Oh, and wine and beer.
Wine and beer at the charter too. If that helps you decide the RSVP. Let's do that. Terry's disappointed there's no gin served, so I'll see what I can do about that. We don't have a liquor license for that one, right? That's what's going on.
We just didn't think we all needed to.
Yeah, it's a picnic, beer and wine, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we just got the word that if you're on the cleanup crew for the charter night, there might be extras beyond beer and wine, so thanks. And then the summer scramble is coming right along. We had a committee meeting last week. Rebecca, do you want to chime in
Do you
on?
have a separate slide?
Yeah, I can wait for you. Yeah, no problem. So it's coming right up. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then, of course, district conference with our district governor, Dustin, coming up too. We've got some info. So I know what y'all did last weekend. Vanessa, I'm sorry, let me go back one.
So there's been a little confusion on firesides. I couldn't not pick a date, so I just had to pick a date. So the survey is going out to everybody today, if you signed up for in person or not. And then the little coffee break was just, if you want to do a one-on-one, sign up for that one and I'll call you and then we can schedule a time to meet together.
So today was for, hey, the survey's coming out.
Survey's coming out, and then also the coffee break is like just
Let you know.
Yeah, just let me know if you want to do a one-on-one and we'll figure out that time later.
Got it. So the actual fireside is
Monday, the 2nd at 5:30 in person at the Griffin. Thank you for everybody that signed up already. There will be snacks and wine and cider. And then if I can get my bartender to work, there'll be beer or drinks.
perfect. Thank you. Okay. So now I know what you did last weekend. I see a few of us here, Craig and Romi and AJ and Dallas. Thanks for hopping in. And who we got there? Ken's there too? Awesome. Oh, there he is. Okay. Can't quite see his face. So thanks all for going out there and breaking ground, literally. This was one of the projects I asked community service, is this something we could do? And then AJ took the bull by the horns and wrote the grant and has been moving this along in the background with help, I know, but it's a big deal. And then we got this global rock star here, Lonnie Graffman, in the middle, looking where to put his dirt. But if I ever had a man crush, that would be my guy. He's great on the environment. He's teaching students how to make things that are energy efficient, and is also helping lead the engineering student side of this project. And just look at him. Geez, he's got Fabio hair, So, and but Elizabeth feels the same. So, Romi.
And the interactor Angela was there as well. He helped take it for a while.
Excellent. And I got to say, you can't quite see it because you're off the screen there, but Romi's got way in there. She's doing lunges, and she said she's a little sore after. So thanks for all helping out. And so tomorrow, they've already done the hard part. We're just kind of scratching it up, leveling it out, and putting the gravel in. So thanks everybody for jumping in last weekend on short notice. As you know, Jessica, one of the co-presidents of Arcata Noon Club, came last week, and looks like she's seen some signups from our club to go celebrate at the wine festival. So thank you for that. Keep that in mind. It's always good to support. Looks like they're putting together a golf team to support our side. So it's always nice to have that mutual. And then I was over with Ken at the Old Town Rotary Club, and seemed like a good happy group that morning, another early riser club. And they're preparing for the revival and return of the Rhododendron Parade in Eureka. And so that's basically show up and enjoy. That's a lot of fun. And it's been almost 3 years now. So it'll be nice to see the community coming out on the sidewalks all through Eureka and watching the floats and the bands. And they've got a little prize there. The club is paying a $250 stipend to the school bands that come out and participate in march and play. And then I know they've got a prize for the best performing band. And I think they've got some ideas on how to make that equitable when they award that. So that's fun. Terri, last Friday night, what were you up to?
Somebody's been minding Facebook.
Yes, I do that.
I was at the Arcata Library, and this is a quilt. It was a project that the Arcata Library and Susan Parsons put together to ask people to share their COVID experience on an 8.5 by 8.5 piece of fabric or paper. Yeah. And so that's how many we got back. And I put it all together And it was really touching. One of a little guy did a picture of a computer doing a Zoom meeting. So that was a 6-year-old's idea of what happened with COVID. That one in the middle of a lady who's just above my head is the grandmother of a woman who works at Creative Sanctuary, and she passed away during COVID. So that was her tribute to her. And those are my wonderful, they're my girls, Danielle and Yuki, who are massage therapists and fabulous healers and wonderful friends. And we had a nice time. Thank you.
Beautiful quilt.
Thank you. And it's going to the Clark Museum.
Excellent. Thanks, Terri. And then Charlie. Oh, there you are. Charlie came out last Friday, again, short notice sort of thing, and helped me out at the Redwood Poetry Fest. That was, we showed up and they had closed their event venue downstairs where it was supposed to be. There was all set up, and then about noon that day, they got notice that, hey, the bathrooms don't work, so we're gonna move you all upstairs. And so thanks for showing up and helping heave stuff upstairs. The vendors were showing up. We were running out to their cars and bringing stuff up, and then got to listen to a great night of poetry. So Romi.
And that was in our benefit for Justice We Decided.
It was,
Yeah,
yes,
and,
yeah.
Charmaine just arrived, Josiah's mom just arrived last night at a little after midnight, and today there's a vigil. Today is 5 years since the death of David, Josiah, DJ, and so we'll be at running courthouse at 4 o'clock today, 4 to 5.
Romi will be over at the courthouse today, Justice for Josiah. Thank you, Romi. Appreciate it. Backpacks for kids. I went in there to, follow John's link and sign up a couple days ago, and I noticed, hey, there's a lot of openings. I call those opportunities. Those aren't like, hey, we're failing here. Those are just opportunities of things coming up. So in the next few weeks, please check your Backpacks for Kids sign up. Carol.
I have a question. What time do we pack bags?
We're at about 1 when we pack, because we got to pick up at noon, come and deliver. And so is it been about 1 o'clock, Vanessa?
12:31.
12:30 to 1 for packing.
Okay,
And
I
yeah,
don't see it on there, so, yeah.
okay, yeah. So yeah, if you're signing up to pack, it'll be at the Griffin, and it's about 12:30 to 1 when we pack up the bags after they're delivered from Eureka. So thank you. So you sign up there. We got a little photo op this afternoon. Maggie, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
12:30 at the library at the Humboldt County Office of Education.
12:30 at HCOE. Romi, I know you were a part of our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee, kind of getting this going too. Do you want to come up and say anything about this?
Sure. All right. There's many ways that we are doing diversity, equity, and inclusion work, and it's really exciting. And it's sort of slow but sure. Craig and I at our diversity, equity, inclusion meeting last night, we're talking about this. But we just get the name Rotary Club Arcata Sunrise out there in more diverse and inclusive ways. And this is a really beautiful way. This picture is last year when we spent about $1,000 buying books for the NAACP book drive. And then this year we had $710, so we got 37 books. And right now they're sitting at that library at the Humboldt County Office of Ed, but they will go into our libraries. And when we include books that include Black history, which is American history, and Black authors and writers and illustrators, then we're really showing not just our students of color, but all of our students in our community that this is who we are when they see themselves in literature. It's essentially important to know that you are included and respected and valued. And so this is one way. I just think it's a beautiful way that we have been helping to contribute to diversify the library collections in our local schools. And so today, come and join us at 12:30. If you're in Eureka, please stop by over the lunch hour and we'll take a big photo of the new set of books that we bought this time that are going to diversify libraries even more. And by the way, our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee would love to have you, everyone. We meet the what is this? So what was that? The third Thursday of every month at 5:30. And we just look for ways that we can be reaching out, that we can be connecting, diversifying, looking at areas of our community that we have not served in the past, and looking for partnerships that we can gain. And when we say, hey, we're out here, we would love to be helping you, as the more we get that word out to different people, the more those partnerships will develop. And so please always be thinking about it on all your committees, and think about joining that one too. And join us also at 12:30 for a great photo op to let the community know this is Rotary.
Thanks, Romy. I know through our efforts, one of our programs this year was from Career Humboldt, and Lark, who led that program, has reached out and will be letting us know how we could help with the upcoming Redwood Pride. So please look for that in the future too. Okay, we've got a little thing we need to do here. Everybody take out your phones if you brought them, please. And I want you to, I know this is unconventional to ask you to be on your phones at a meeting, but if you go to Facebook and search for Rotary Club of Arcata Sunrise, I'd like you to all to find that little events tab. Give you a second here. Mine's a shortcut, so I get there real quick. And then if you will, on that events tab, there's some options. You can mark yourself as going or interested. That pushes it out into the social media community. Hopefully you're going. You can hit the little forward button, which is a share. I'd like anybody who's there right now to go ahead and please do that. Just share it to your page. You don't even have to make a comment. You can make a comment of hope to see you there or something like that. But that also amplifies our reach with our social media. And then when you get time, please go ahead and click that little invite button, and it'll give you a list of your contacts on Facebook. And you can say, oh, they might like to do this, or they might be interested. And you just click them, hit send, and that gets it into people directly. So take a few minutes and do that. I'm going to be watching here for who gets it shared first, real quick. Refreshing my feed.
I shared on Instagram.
That counts. Thank you. She's way ahead of us. Good, well done. There we go. We got some likes on our page. There you go, Tom. Tom, on the button. I see your share there. Nice. Dallas, I see you liking our page. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that's how that works. You know, the more that we interact with our club's social media, the more people will actually see those interactions, and it amplifies our reach. So it's basically free marketing for our clubs. We've got the events up there. So please make an effort when you see our posts, like them, share them, indicate you're going, and then invite friends. So thanks for participating in that little experiment. We're halfway there. Rebecca?
I have an update.
Yep, come on up. This is all for you.
See, I knew there would be a slide.
Rebecca's been doing a great job of reaching out to our club teams.
Okay, hopefully all the teams got a little email, and hopefully it all had correct information. If there's anything that I need to update, let me know. 8 out of our 13 teams have completed our request. That doesn't mean you have to stop, and already some teams have said they're going to keep going. That is a 61.5% completion rate on our Raffle team. As an update on our teams and sponsors, so we've got 18 teams that are playing and 18 whole sponsors. 15 out of the 18 slots for both of those are complete. So we only need 3 more team sponsors and 3 more whole sponsors. I just checked our spreadsheet this morning. That's why I was on my phone. That's at 83.3% completion rate. So, you know, with, a little less than a month to the event, I'm feeling the spooky vibes, and you know, I think we're getting there. So I just want to thank everybody. The next ask will come at the event. We're going to need some help setting different things up and just that kind of stuff. So if you're not playing, if you're playing, please play and have a good time and show our guests a good time, right? Part of this is, you know, showing people what Rotary's about. We want everybody to go. We want everybody to have a good time. We want them to want to come to this event next year if we hold it. So are there any questions? Is Susan on? Did I forget anything?
So I know once the teams and sponsors are all lined up, then we'll be pushing out here's how to help at the event, you know, times to set up, times to go. We're going to be helping the sponsors
set up their tee displays. You know, if some of the sponsors won't be able to be there, so they'll be handing off, you know, signs or merchandise for us to put out. And Vanessa, you have, or you see your eyes from the sun.
What do the, like, I'm sponsoring a whole, but this is my first time and I haven't been to the, what does the whole sponsor?
So what is
So there's a variety of options. First, we really appreciate the funds that goes directly to support our programs. Two, we want to make sure that our whole sponsors get recognition. So at the most basic level, if you're a whole sponsor connected to one, make sure we get your PDFs of your, you know, your logo and things like that. And if you've got nothing else, we can print stuff out, make sure you're represented. If you've got like banners, you know, existing that you'd like us to put up and take down and return to you, let us know. We can coordinate collecting those banners, putting those up for you, and then, you know, taking them down. Third, we're really excited if whole sponsors want to amp it up on their own and then host the little thing. I know Siva at the Ace Hensel's is going to be doing some grilling that accompanies Bloody Marys, and I think some other folks may be doing some stuff at their whole. So we're also encouraging all the whole sponsors to, you know, amp it up a notch, have something for folks, you know, some sort of giveaway or something like that. So we will also be having little, kids, like email me because I won't, can you email me? We're also encouraging, we're also gonna have little goodie bags for all the players at the beginning of the tournament. So they'll all be getting like a little goodie bag that will also include some snacks and stuff. There will be a drinks cart that's going around the golf course. We will also probably, coming up soon, need to be asking for players. People are like, yeah, I'll sponsor a team. And I think some teams are, boom, they're going to fill their 4 players, but other teams may need like substitutes or things like that. So, you know, the next thing, because we actually want players on the field. We don't want folks to just sponsor a team and not show up. We want folks to have a good time.
Right, right. And we can have up to 20 teams max, is that right? 18 is our target, 20 if we could have to squeeze.
Susan, I
think that's what she
hear
said.
we could do max of 20.
Yeah, like, you know, some of the faster players will squeeze another one in between them.
I
And you
know.
don't have to be good at golf. I mean, Jeff knows if I go out on the range, because I don't go, it'll cost me a bucket of balls because I lose all of them. So, but it's a best ball scramble. So if you got one ringer on your team, everybody wins. So, you know, it's a pretty cool way
Oh,
to
sweet.
do
Is
it.
that how that works?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All you gotta do.
I don't play golf. I'm just trying to, like, you know.
Golfers can get a good shot in it.
I was also thinking it's
By
good
mistake,
exercise.
yeah.
Baywood is beautiful. It's good exercise. You'll get out in the fresh air on a Friday morning. This should be over by noon. So if you have to work, you can go into work in the afternoon, but you'll be like refreshed. You know,
Yeah,
you haven't drank
worst
too much.
case, it's a nice walk on a grassy trees that's spoiled by golf. So.
Okay.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Sign up and show up for district conference. Again, we're gonna do a little, how about now? It's open, emails. Here's your search terms for your emails. No, really, pull out your phones again. We're gonna do this. Just, even if you just sign up for one of these things this morning, we'll be making progress, right? So pull out your phones, open your email app, and search for sign up, or conference, or firesides, or rainwater, or backpacks. For each of those, if you search your email, you'll find something to sign up for. And then do that. So we can take a couple minutes. I'll get a drink of orange juice here while you're all doing that.
I signed up last night for set after the conference and for fireside. So I'm considering myself complete. I just feel too now.
Okay, last night I got to hang out with our governor and
There you go.
it was a lot of fun. We were talking about some of the obligations, what it was like, and it's something about being bigger than yourself. And I thought, you know, it'd be pretty tough, but we've all done it. And I thought about, wow, God, what would it be like? You know, what would it be like to be a governor? Who's been a governor? We have one. What would it be like to be a president? We have more. And I thought, you know, and all these things about, you know, we went back and forth, and he says, man, we have, but we don't have a lot of people signing up. And I was kind of surprised. And I thought, and he says, yeah, because we're the Sunrise. And I said, that's right, we're the Sunrise. And we got the power. And I said, I can feel the power. And I said, and we went back and forth. And I went, man, we got to get the Sunrise out there. Because we're all about love, and we got to get, you know, we got to be, you know, we got to be one.
We literally bring the sun up.
That's right. Look at this. And so, and I thought, man, what? And so And I thought, you know, we have to be out there. This is our governor. These are our people. This is our Sunrise. This is our, you know, this is Dustin, and this is our club. And we have a big, you know, all the way down to Napa. And I was on a meeting with some of those people, and they're always the Sunrise, the Sunrise, the Sunrise. And I'm like, yeah, the Sunrise. But it's so big, and we have such good energy that, well, you all have good energy. And then I just want to say, I hope to see everybody out there, because I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be really good, and to see all the Sunrise people out there. So anyway, that's my take. I told Dustin I'd say something. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. It's true, you know, like I've been saying for a few weeks now, we joined this for a reason. We wanted to get engaged in our community and with each other. So let's do that. That's so simple to, you know, there's so many opportunities to participate. You know, none of us can do it all, but we can all do something, right? So thank you, Tom, for supporting Dustin and our club and doing that. Nick, are we ready-ish for raffle time? Does somebody else have it in the room? You got it, Luke. Okay. We're waiting on the raffle. You guys can all finish up with that and make sure you sign up. I really, you know, a lot of these sign up geniuses, they come back to my email, and it always excites me when I see, oh, there's so-and-so signed up for this, and yeah, I'll see them there. And so it really helps. Okay, raffle time. Hi, Amanda. She's doing the thing.
Pressure, 683.
683. Rebecca. $5 and $1 on the table. Yeah, one more.
We appreciate you coming out.
What's the next number?
Next number is 661.
661. Anyone? That's Craig. You want to do the intro? I'm watching Amanda over here. She's intensely signing up for stuff. I love it. 5 to Craig. 5 to Craig. You want to do the intro? All right.
All right, I'm so pleased that we have visiting us via Zoom, Layla Roberts, who's an incredible human being, director of the North Coast Business Development Center since 2016, and has brought. Layla believes thriving small independent businesses are at the heart of our economy and the key to our prosperity. She serves on the College of the Redwoods Entrepreneurship Advisory Board, Cal Poly Humboldt's College of Professional Studies Advisory Board, as well as both Humboldt and Del Norte Crescent City's Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy Working Group. She is one busy woman. She has a master's degree in the management of sustainable development. She's the daughter and granddaughter of immigrants from England and Morocco. She lives in Eureka with her husband, John Richmond, publisher of the Times Standard newspaper, and their pointy-eared dog, Benny. So please welcome Layla.
Good morning. Thank you so much for this invitation. It feels so strange not to be there in person with you. I appreciate the opportunity to join you by Zoom. And I'm going to do a little sound check. How well can you hear me?
Yeah, great. I think everybody in the back here.
Okay. My opera singer great grandmother would be proud of my diaphragm then. Good. I have prepared a PowerPoint that we usually use when briefing folks. If I may have permission to share my screen.
Absolutely. I just made you co-host, so you're all set.
Oh, I have co-hosting power? I'm going to have to figure out how to misuse that then. Thank you.
You should be able to, there you
There
go.
we
We
go.
got you.
Lovely. So here's the deal. I don't think that I need to stick to this slavishly, but it is a helpful little introduction to what we do for those of you who don't know us. And the first thing that I want to say is thank you for the welcome back. The first time I was invited, Carol, thank you again. The first time I was invited back to introduce myself to the Sunrise Rotary, my father-in-law, Roland Richmond, said, oh yeah, I'm a member of the Noon Rotary, but you better go to Sunrise. They're much better than we are. Shh, don't tell him I said that. And one of the things that was really interesting was how many folks already knew about SBDC and how many did not. So I would love to do just a quick poll, show of hands, if you're willing. How many of you have come to the Small Business Development Center for help with one-to-one counseling or for one of our training events at some point in the past, I guess, nearly 40 years now that we've been around? Last time we did this, it was about 30 to 40%. Zoom isn't really allowing this. Oh, well, Brandy, yes, I know, of course you. So here's the scoop. We are a federally and state-funded nonprofit organization that exists solely to help make sure that business owners in our community, that's Del Norte and Humboldt and adjacent tribal lands, have access to coaching and training and any kind of leads or special services that we can provide them across the entire life cycle of their business. So I'm going to take us through a little briefing on how exactly this works, and I'm going to stop a little bit early because I would love to have a conversation about what you all think we should be concentrating on next. And you'll get a sense as we go along of why this is something that we care about. Because we do adapt our strategy to what the heck is going on in the community. So first things first, our basic services. If you know an entrepreneur who is not aware of us, we will help them from before they start up to when they're ready for their exit from their business. So please send them our way. This is the way to do it. If you want to pick up the phone and call me directly and say, I just want a little personal attention, my contact information is in the chat right now. The mandate from the Small Business Administration to small business development centers across the country is help folks start up, help people hire and retain employees, help them to access money when they need it, and help folks to increase sales. So we pay attention every year to how our clients are doing along those 4 or 5 metrics. And one of the things that I hope you're picking up as you look at those figures is that the pandemic, as you can imagine, created I think the technical term is a crap ton more activity for our center as we were helping clients to respond to the crisis. Because these are numbers from 2020 and 2021. And this also means then that we were seeing almost twice as many clients in the past federal fiscal year as normal. And if you take a look at what the COVID-19 response looked like, you'll see that a vast majority of the clients who walked in our doors over the past couple of years were coming in to say, how do I access some of this pandemic financing? How do I adapt my business in order to serve under these shutdowns and under these restrictions and keep my people safe, customers and employees alike? How do I survive? What can I do to cut expenses? What can I do to maximize my potential revenue? And honestly, what I think is absolutely fascinating is we had, starting in July of 2021, an incredible spike of people walking in the door saying, well, I'm ready to start a business. This pandemic has really shifted my thinking and I want to become an entrepreneur. And when you think about when you want to send someone our way or when you want to walk in the door, I'd love you to consider that we are structured to support you across the entire range of your business life cycle. So whether you're just kicking around a few ideas, or you find yourself in that really sticky part of evolving from small to medium size, you've got to hire people, and if you've never done it before, you are natural decadence, for example, and you're about to start your own major manufacturing contract with a national retailer, and you're saying, holy cow, how do I do that? You're really, really interested in selling your business and moving on to whatever is your next stage of life. And you know it's going to take 3 to 5 years to get there, and much more. Please walk in the door and let us help you with any and all of that. So here's what I'm gonna pause for a minute. This is where I want you to start your creative juices flowing. When I walked in the door in 2016, the center had been without an executive director for a few months as they recruited the next person. And so we were at a very low hum. The phone wasn't ringing. We had folks doing consulting, but everything essentially kind of had to be built back up from scratch. And one of the things that I was fairly confident of is that if we aligned the programs that we delivered with the most critical industries in our community, then we were going to be at least in a good position to start rebuilding our reputation and our reach. Lo and behold, it worked. So what you're looking at here is a combination of programs for exiting owners, people who want to sell to their employees, our next generation of food makers, our next generation of farmers, childcare businesses, our small makers and manufacturers getting ready to scale up. These are people who have been able to access specially crafted programs from the SBDC, largely thanks, honestly, to other business owners in this community who have been willing to serve as co-teachers. So for example, our dear friend and Fabio lookalike, Lenny Graffman, I also have a crush on him. I think he's the bee's knees. Helps to teach our small manufacturing program and our innovation consulting. Cooperation Humboldt is our contracted partner to help people who want to start or convert to cooperative businesses, and so on. So I want you to consider that our bread and butter is helping people to access what they need, including capital. Come join us on May 2nd, the start of Small Business Week, if you'd like to hear firsthand, or if you know someone who needs to hear firsthand, how to successfully and creatively raise capital straight from the horse's mouth. But also, I would love your advice on how to make sure that we are working with clients who represent the future of this community. For example, I'm having conversations with folks who are really interested in mass timber projects, which is a way to scoop up from the forest floor wood that is creating a fire hazard and doesn't have any other purpose in that particular ecosystem, repurposing it for affordable housing materials, and then creating some sort of integrated workforce and small business ecosystem that didn't yet exist. Really interested in what we're going to do in this community to make sure that our offshore wind project includes a community benefits agreement that has our small business ecosystem and our local employees and our local students from Cal Poly and College of the Redwoods getting cycled through to provide services, to learn how to be the engineers that keep that offshore wind project working, and that keep the benefit for the long term. So this is the kind of stuff that's always in the back of our minds. What can we do to help make sure that our future is reflected in our programming? And then finally, one of the things that I was concerned about when we started was, are we serving a group of entrepreneurs that are representative of our community? I would say that in the beginning, we were falling short in a couple of areas. So we did some deliberate outreach and some trust building. And I'm pretty pleased to say that if you take a look at the census figures by demography for our community, both by gender and race and ethnicity, and take a look at who we're serving through the center, we are up to par. We have done a good job of making sure that folks aren't falling through the cracks. And that was not something that happened naturally, it was something we had to do consciously. So one of the things that we do is we don't do it all. We work with service delivery partners like those you see on the screen, including Black Humboldt, Humboldt Made, North Coast Growers Association, which just ran the most incredible small farmers program. They knocked it out of the park. I'm really excited about who's going to succeed thanks to them. And then we also rely not just on federal and state funding, but on local contributions. So Brandy, I'm sure you're responsible directly for that AEDC funding. Thank you so much. Local allies like Janet Redwood Capital Bank and others. And then also the county of Humboldt and the city of Crescent City. So we cobble together a budget that we think makes sense in order to keep these services going. So that's the snapshot. And we take our responsibility very seriously. We don't take for granted that people are just going to walk in the door. So one of the ways that I express that is by simply saying, okay, even if you have never heard of us before, I would love to know what you're hearing in the community folks are struggling with, where you're hearing opportunities, and what you think we could be doing no better to serve the small business owners that are, frankly, almost the entire lifeblood of our community and our economy. So I'm gonna pause here. Let's look at each other's faces. Happy to answer questions, and I'm happy to get marching orders.
You're muted.
Brandy, I'm going to put you on the spot. You ready for it?
Okay, Layla.
I would love to hear from either your perspective as a small business owner yourself, or from the perspective of a partner in serving small businesses through AEDC. What advice or marching orders you might give us. Go ahead and take first stab, and that will smooth the path for others.
Well, I hope I can be helpful. Well, I was starting to put in the chat that SBDC is a great resource for businesses at any stage of the business. And I have taken advantage of that through the last 20 years, is going in, needing counseling to navigate when things kind of like emptied out in 2008, helping rewrite my business plan. And as she says, I'm kind of partnered with them. I've been helping with some educational presentations to some other business owners on how to take photos for their business. Help me do my job. But anyway, I don't know if I'm giving you marching orders, but I definitely can give a lot of accolades. And here at AEDC, when there is somebody that is calling from out of our servicing area, I do let them know that SBDC is a point place, and that's where I direct them, and always say that that's a great resource for any of your business needs. So I don't know if that's helpful for you.
Yeah, I'll pay you your bribe later this morning. Thank you, Brandy. John Richmond, who is in some other room in this house, what does all this business counseling cost a small biz owner? Well, it costs you the taxes that you've already paid. We are taxpayer funded, which means that you walk in the door for consulting. If you're serious about your business and not just kicking tires, we will assign you someone to work with you until you've accomplished the goals you've set, and it will be at no cost. Some of our workshops come with a small fee, some don't. The Capital Summit, which is listed in the chat if you want to sign up, is free, thanks to the sponsors. What else you got? Questions, suggestions? What's happening in your community?
And if I can pipe in, they're always available for you to call in and ask your business questions. At least that's been my experience. So.
Maggie, thank you, by the way, for that suggestion. Presentation mode was for some reason not working for me. So if you are curious about anything that was on the slides and you couldn't see it, I'll just pop you a copy of the PowerPoint.
Thank you.
All right.
Carol has a question.
Now I have a question, Layla.
Hi,
Hi there. So what kind of work do you work with nonprofit businesses? And what kind of services do you, or is it all sort of standard for-profit businesses? That's my question.
I appreciate that question because it's important for me not to overlook the fact that nonprofits are also a critical part of our economy. And that's why I have to say a little sadly that no, we're not permitted to work with not-for-profit enterprises by order of the Small Business Administration, unless, for example, it's something that is generating sales tax. A museum with a gift shop, we will help them to work out a good profit generating enterprise off to the side.
Okay. Thank you. Lisa, what qualifies as a small business? You know, you're the Small Business Developing Council. And what size range of businesses are you helping?
So, nearly every business in this community qualifies according to the SBA. The numbers were just bumped up. It's by revenue and industry and number of employees. And I'm not going to give you the wrong numbers because it really does vary by industry. But basically, unless you're making tens of millions in gross revenue annually, you qualify.
Excellent. Excellent. And then you mentioned earlier something about helping businesses, perhaps succession planning. So have you seen success stories in our community where a business goes from a S Corp or C Corp or an LLC to a employee co-op or something like that?
Yeah, we have 4 or 5 in the wings, and 2 that have sold to owners that are. So let me explain that I'm not giving you names because I haven't been given permission to give you names. We protect confidentiality unless we have in writing from the owner. Yeah, go ahead, talk about me. So we've got, for example, a large multi-site engineering firm with about 30 to 50 employees that is working on conversion to employee ownership, and their path is a bit longer because they're a bit bigger. So we're, probably in another year or 2, we're going to start to see the actual conversion happening. We have a very, very small brick and mortar retail shop, 2 actually, in Eureka alone. That sold to individuals who are operating as a cooperative, even though they're incorporated as LLCs, both of them. And there is a legacy business in Southern Humboldt. No, you know what? She's spoken public. I can mention Signature Coffee, one of the very first organic and fair trade coffee roasters in the country, is in Southern Humboldt. And she is absolutely committed, once she has navigated some other business challenges, to converting to employee ownership. So it's new, and the process takes longer than a simple straight sale. But I'm really, really proud that, we started with exactly 1 worker-owned, worker-governed cooperative, Restive Cleaning, in 2018. And now we have 5 seriously working on it, and probably another 10 startups that we're going to start seeing in the next year or 2.
Excellent. Thank you. What are the questions from the room or on Zoom? Lisa, thank you very much for presenting today. We appreciate you taking the time. That it's obviously a valuable service to our community. And as one of our presenters, our club will be making a donation in your name to the Wheelchair Foundation, who provides accessibility to those that could not otherwise afford it. So I really appreciate you speaking today.
Very important.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Yeah, let's see if I can get the co-hosting. Okay, we're back. And well, I was in the back. Nick made a point. This is the first time I've seen you sit down during a meeting. It felt good to sit down. Thank you. I checked the email. Looks like we have 2 slots left. This morning we only had 2 slots filled of the 8 for tomorrow's activities with the shovels and the pickaxes and the gravel grinders and all, whatever we're doing there. By the way, Craig, thanks for volunteering your dump trailer as part of getting the gravel there. That's awesome. But as you leave the meeting, make sure, you know, if you want to get in, sometimes these opportunities are scarce. We've got most of the golf team signed up. We've got most of the gravel movers signed up. That's how we do it. You just take a second and sign up. It's that simple, and I really appreciate it. And the Facebook feed is filled with shares and likes and going and stuff. So well done, everybody. That's how we get it done.
There's no sign up for noon, 12:30 today, but join us. Here you go.
I'm only 3 blocks away. I'll be there.
Yay. You need people in the picture. 12:30.
Yep. Thank you, Romi. Okay, this week's parting thought, let's work together. Time flies when you're having fun. Come serve to change lives. Thank you, everybody. Good game.